national letter of intent, verbal commitments. What are those for everybody, and what does it mean in your division? Mike?
Verbal commitments are just that. They're not binding. I think that you see a lot in like BCS football where a kid will commit to a school and then decommit and go to a different school. I think if you don't have those options, you may not sleep well certain nights. I mean, I think that's probably a handshake. That's how I do things, but I'm not sure that everybody does it that way. And then, as a Division II institution with scholarships, we participate in the National Letter of Intent program. And that's only for schools that offer athletic scholarships. Then that is a binding, that's a legal document. You are bound to that decision.
I've heard that there are people that sometimes decommit even from that, right? So what happens? What are the ramifications for that if a kid signs a national letter of intent and then says, "Oh, just kidding, I don't want to go there"? Is there an answer to that question? They don't go to like school jail or anything. But...
Oh yeah, they go to Sing Sing.
If I'm not mistaken, you decommit from national letter of intent, you lose a year of eligibility. So you have to sit for the first year, and then you lose a year of eligibility. So basically, you've almost lost 2 years of school there. So it's very hard to do that. I would say if you sign a national letter of intent, my judgment would be to go to school for a year, play your way out, and then look to transfer and see if you can transfer your way out, because most coaches at that point will then possibly give you a release to certain schools at least, and it won't cost you as bad as decommitting from a national letter of intent.
And you're not eligible for any athletic aid either during that period of time.
Yes.
So if that's an important piece of the equation financially, which it is for most people, you want to be eligible for it.
Anything else? Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
And then with the verbal commitments, just for us and then at our level, just if the kid just understand once you work like that's somewhat of a gentleman's handshake, which everyone said. So yes, it's not binding, but if you do decide to start sniffing around at other schools, the one thing I would say is that all the coaches are friends with each other. We all talk, even though we compete against each other. If someone sends an email to commit to Maryland, sends an email to Loyola, I guarantee you we'll know within an hour. So there's no way it's like, well, I'm going to commit to this school, I'm going to take this, but I really want to go to that school, but I don't know if they're going to take me yet, so I'm just going to take what I can get, and then kind of still try and sell myself to this other place. That's not how it works, and if you try and make it work that way, you're going to get found out, and then you're probably going to hurt your chances at either school. So that's a tricky part of that verbal commitment process. There's really, once you verbal to a school, that school is anticipating that you're coming, and the ramifications of that really affect us as a staff and a program too. We've been hit firsthand this past fall. We had a kid decommit from us, and that was over a year of him committed to us, and he decommitted, and there were tons of defensemen that were really, really good that we said, no, we recall, we committed to this guy. There was scholarship money that we had allocated in that player that we couldn't give to other middies who ended up going to other places. So when you do that, you're kind of really affecting the program as well. So as much as to say it's verbal, gentlemen, we take it, I know the coaches take it extremely seriously.
Do the stand-up thing. I mean, do your homework, make sure that's where you want to go, and once you commit, stand by it. Because that really does create a lot of problems for everyone.
Just as if you choose to leave Division I school, you come to Division III and don't lose any eligibility. Just saying. But that's true.
So, Coach, so if I sign a letter of intent,
I am not looking at any Maryland guys right now. No, but no. And I would always counsel a young man, if you sign that, again, there are 300 college coaches, 300 college head coaches, and Coach Metzbauer may know a little bit better. There's 208 Division III coaches. How many Division I's? 65 D1s and D2? Okay, 60, so you're talking, you know, boy, my math is terrible, 320 some schools basically that are playing. And we go to the convention, we all sit in the same room together, we talk. If you're not 100% sure that you're ready for that school, do not sign that letter, because I would have a hard time having that year. Now again, kids transfer, and I always say pick the right school, do the right thing, do your homework. Think if you go to that school, you blow your ACL. One of my best players, kid was an All-American, first team All-Conference, concussion, never played again. Okay, didn't think about leaving school. Those are the realities of playing. That stuff happens, and you need to be happy at that school. If you're a kid from Maryland and you don't like the cold and the snow, you need to go up to Vermont and check it out in January. Okay, if that's what you want to do like that. Those things are very, very important. The smallest percentage of your time is actually spent playing lacrosse. It's 5 or 6 hours a day. There's 18, 19, 20 hours a day. You need to like that campus, like those kids, like the things that you're doing, your major. You need to like the area. Do you want to be 6 hours from home or 2 hours from home? Those are all things that go into that. That being said, no Division III school has a national letter of intent. Okay, we're talking about having a commitment letter. It's in front of the NCAA council, and I don't know how, I haven't done enough homework to know how I feel about that right now. You could sign a letter committing to a Division III school your junior year. You know, again, I'd have to really do some more homework and think of the ramifications of that. Again, the verbal commitment, we're kind of piggybacking with what's going on here, and if a kid that I really like is good academically, and he wants to verbal commit to me, you know, you verbal to me, I'll verbal to you, and we'll all be happy, you know, go down the road. Our commitment is ED. You go early decision for us, and that's if you know, once we see you and you like it, November 1st, you get your application in. Again, I walk you through that process, help you out. You get your decision before Thanksgiving. You know you're locked up and you're good, and that's kind of our binding agreement. And again, an early decision agreement is also binding as well when you sign it. Just like the other, you can get out, but don't do that if that's not what you truly 100% believe in your heart that you